Have you ever done a huge favor for someone, only to get nothing in return, or worse, get treated badly afterward? It's a frustrating feeling, and it brings to mind a classic story that has been told for centuries. It is a tale that teaches us a valuable lesson about who we choose to help and what we should expect from them. Let's dive into the story of the wolf and the crane. Picture this. A wolf, known for his insatiable appetite, is having the feast of his life. He's tearing through his meal with such greed and haste that he doesn't even notice a small sharp bone get lodged sideways in his throat. Suddenly, the feasting stops. He tries to cough it up, but it won't move. He tries to swallow it down, but it's stuck fast. He can't eat, he can't drink, and a growing panic starts to set in. For a creature whose entire life revolves around its next meal, this is a disaster of epic proportions. Desperate and in considerable pain, the wolf frantically searches for a solution. His mind races through all the creatures in the forest, and then he has an idea. He remembers the crane, with her incredibly long, slender neck and her thin, pointy bill. She's the perfect tool for this delicate and rather disgusting operation. He's certain she can reach down his throat and pull out the troublesome bone. So, with a pained gait, he hurries off to find her. He finds the crane waiting gracefully by the riverbank. Putting on his most pitiful and persuasive voice, which isn't easy with a bone in his throat, he explains his dreadful situation. He looks at her with pleading eyes and says, "Oh, wise and wonderful crane, only you can save me. If you use your amazing long beak to reach into my throat and pull out this wretched bone, I will reward you very handsomely." He makes the promise of a reward sound like the opportunity of a lifetime. Now, the crane is no fool. She knows the wolf's reputation. The idea of sticking her head inside the mouth of a notorious predator sends shivers down her spine. It's a wolf's mouth filled with sharp teeth, and this is a proposition that screams danger. Every instinct she has is telling her to fly away and not get involved. But then she hears that magic word again. Handsomely. The crane, you see, had a bit of a greedy streak herself. The thought of a huge, easy reward starts to cloud her better judgment. She weighs the risk against the potential prize. A quick, brave act for a handsome reward? It sounded tempting. Too tempting. After a moment of hesitation, her greed wins out. She agrees. With a deep breath and a prayer to the sky, she cautiously approaches the wolf. He opens his massive jaws as wide as he can, and the crane, trembling slightly, carefully inserts her long head and neck deep into the wolf's throat. It's a terrifying, dark, and smelly place to be. She feels around with her beak, past the rows of sharp teeth, until she locates the sharp edge of the bone. With great precision, she clamps down on it, gives a firm tug, and pulls it free. The relief on the wolf's face is immediate. He can breathe properly again. He can swallow. He snaps his jaws shut, thankfully after the crane has pulled her head out, and a feeling of pure joy washes over him. The crisis is over. He gives himself a little shake, feeling like a new wolf, and without a second glance at the crane, he simply turns to walk away. The crane stands there, stunned. She just risked her life and he's just leaving? Wait. She calls out anxiously, her voice a little shaky. "But what about my reward? You promised me a handsome reward." The wolf stops in his tracks. He slowly turns around and the pitiful pleading look he had before is completely gone. In its place is a cold, menacing snarl. His eyes narrow and his lips curl back to reveal the very same teeth her head was just next to. "What?" He growls, his voice dripping with contempt. "A reward? Haven't you already received your reward? Isn't it enough that I allowed you to pull your head out of my mouth without snapping it off? You should be grateful you're still alive. Now get out of my sight." And with that, he turned and disappeared into the forest, leaving the crane standing alone, with nothing to show for her trouble but a racing heart and a very harsh lesson learned. The moral of this story is as clear today as it was thousands of years ago. Expect no reward for serving the wicked. When you deal with people who have a proven track record of being selfish, untrustworthy, or cruel, you can't expect them to suddenly change their nature just because you helped them. The greatest reward you might get is simply escaping the situation without being harmed further. It is a powerful reminder to be wise about who we extend our help to and to manage our expectations, especially when a wolf in sheep's, or in this case a wolf in wolf's clothing, asks for a favor. Thanks for watching, and I hope this story gives you something to think about. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories and lessons from the past. See you next time.